You see someplace he can move where he can capture a piece? You see what piece he can move on to the top of? One? Yeah, if you move straight up, move 2 squares straight up, and he can capture that pawn.
Swish.
So he's grabbed a pawn. But now it's black's move. The alternate turns. Can black capture that rook? With what? With his rook. So this rook can move down 1 and capture that rook. So they'd be trade. It's not a very good trade because the rook's more powerful than the pawn. But that's how capturing works in chess. And that's how rooks work. Okay? They're a pretty simple piece, but we'll go through all this a whole bunch more times. We got the rook. And they're pretty strong, tough pieces. They sit in the corner. Now the next piece we're going to learn about is the bishop. Okay, this piece is called a bishop. And then they're kind of like opposite of the rook. The rook moves up and down and side to side, but the rook never moves on a diagonal. The bishop only moves on diagonal. So it goes 1, 2, like that.
And then it could just show that.
Yeah, it could. From here, this bishop could take this pawn. Yeah, absolutely. So you're getting how it works already. Yeah, this bishop could take this pawn.
The queen could get the
Bishop. The queen could get the bishop. Who else can take that bishop?
the pawn.
Who else? Yeah, the other bishop could grab it, like that. So that bishop's moving diagonally. The pawn couldn't take that. Pawns don't move that way. The king could take it, though. We'll get to kings in a minute. The queen could take it, but not the pawn. Okay, so bishops. In fact, bishops have their own little reminder built into them. See this notch here on their head? What direction is that notch? It's a diagonal notch. So that's there to remind you that the bishops move diagonally. When you look at that, you can always say, well, how do they move? They move like a little notch. And because they move diagonally, bishops have kind of a special thing about them. The bishops always stay on the color they start on. Okay, so this bishop starts in a white square. Let's say I move this pawn out of the way. However much he moves, like that, maybe a third move here. However many times he moves, he's always on a white square, right? There's no way he can move diagonally and get to a dark square. Whereas this bishop here, so we have this pawn moved out of the way, he can move diagonally, but he started in a dark square because you only ever get to dark squares. So when you're making a move with the bishop, or if you're watching your opponent's move, you can always say, is he on the same color he started on? And if not, you see someone make a move like this, you'll know you missed, right? You didn't hit the score you really meant to. The bishop moved diagonally.
It went to the dungeon.
You went to the dungeon, yeah. That's something important when we talk about taking pieces in chess. I know it's tempting to say, ooh, I killed this piece. But we don't say that. We say we captured it. We send him to the dungeon. Something like that, okay? To kinder, friendlier chess. So yeah, we take that pawn. What?
You got them to prison?
Send him to prison. Where do we want to send him?
It's like the police.
Yeah. So again, take that pawn. You can take here.
Squish.
But now, squish. Squish is a good way to say captured. Squished him. Now, we've seen the rook and we've seen the bishop. Speaking of squishing, if you take a rook and you take a bishop and you squish them together, you get a queen. I mean, not really in the game. You don't physically get a queen. But the move of the rook and the move of the bishop, if you put these two powers together, you get the power of the queen, who can move up and down, and side to side, and diagonally, which makes the queen the most powerful piece in chess. The queen's really awesome. And that's why there's only one of her. You see, you've got 2 rooks, you've got 2 knights, you've got 2 bishops.
If you had both of them, the queen kind of looks like them because these, and this, and this, and this.
Yeah, they do actually. Wow, I didn't even notice that before. That's really awesome you saw that. Yeah, it's like the top of the rook plus the top of the bishop equals the top of the queen. That's how you know the moves are combined. I'm totally stealing that and using that at other schools. That's really awesome. Thank you. So, the queen moves up and down, side to side, or on a diagonal. Now, she can only do one of those on each move, okay? You can't have one move that goes to circle or something. One move is always a straight line for the queen, or for any piece, except the knight. Knights are weird. We'll get to them in a minute. Yeah. Yeah, the thing more the light and the dark. Because that's something a rook can do, right? The rook can go on both colors, and the queen has the power of the rook, so she can do both. She's a really strong piece, but because she's strong, she's also really valuable. You want to be really careful with your queen. Because if you lose your queen, you've lost your most powerful piece, and that's a bad thing. So you want to be careful with your queen. Okay. So now we've got the bishop, and we've got the bishop, we've got the rook, we've got the queen. Now I've got the knight. The knight's a really odd piece. And the way we talked about this, you say the knights have names. They don't really have names, but for the purposes of this, we're going to call these knights Larry and Lois.
Oh, that's Mr.
Yeah, so, and what do you think their favorite letter is?
L.
L. Their favorite letter's L. And that's how a knight moves.
They can only move an L shape.
Yeah, they're always moving L shape. Now it can be a sideways or upside down L, but make an L like this. Try not
They
to-
can just do like this.
Yeah.
Or like this.
I know the moves to it, like 1, 2, no.
Yep. So you make that L by going 1, 2, and over 1. That's kind of an upside down L, right?
Yeah.
So now you can make a regular L by going, well, 1, 1, 2. There's always 1, 2, and 1. So 1, 2, and down 1. And this knight go 1, 2, and over 1. Now you notice that knight just jumped a piece, right? He was here. He's all blocked in. When his bishop's all blocked in, it's got nowhere to go. It's really stuck. With the knight, he can jump. Because, right, he looks like a horse. And when we talk about a knight, what it really represents is, again, these are kind of like medieval ideas. It's like a knight on horseback. But we're representing a knight on horseback with just a horse. So, can horses jump? Yeah, you know, they have a whole sport about horses jumping over things, right? So remember that he's a horse, or a knight on horseback, and he can jump. Okay? So if he can jump, he goes in an L. Who can show me a move that this knight can make? You want to come up and make a move with that knight? 1, 2, and over 1. Okay, someone else wants to come and make a knight move.
No, Angelina.
Now it's
Missing
Black's
a
move.
second grader that a parent can't find.
1. Yeah, there you go. 1, 1, 2. Yeah, so he moved 1 and then 2. He still made an L. So it's a perfectly good knight move. Someone else want to make a knight move. You want to make a knight move? Come on up. Okay, so watch the moves that people are making. They're making good knight moves. 1, 2, and over 1. There's a good knight move. Who else wants to make a knight move? You already made one. Come on up.
You squished the pod right
Can a horse squish another horse?
Sure.
Wait, you could go one and then
capture
back,
something?
and then you could switch the other horse.
1, 2, and over 1. Yeah, you can take that pawn, huh?
You could put three guys
Yeah.
like 1, 2, and then.
Yeah, and something people watch out for here. When he takes these pawns, this is a special kind of move. Now notice where else this knight can move to, right? His next move, where can he go? He can go here, right? 1, 2, and 1, where the king is. And the king we haven't discussed yet. But the whole point of the game of chess is to trap your opponent's king. And in this case, this move would almost be enough to end the game. Because this king we call in check. The knight is the position where you can capture the king. And when the king's in check, the king is the most valuable piece in the game, right? Because he's the king. And the whole point of chess is to get your opponent's king where he can't get away. So can this king get away right now? Well, he can't go here, 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 here. But there are other ways to get out of check. Black just has to end his move so he's not in check. The other way to get out of check is to block the piece that's giving check. Can you block a knight? No, because he can jump. Can we take that knight? Can anyone take that knight? What? Who do you think can take that knight? Can I see hands? Who do you think can take the knight? Raise your hand? You're raising your hand. Okay. Who can take the knight? The queen. So that would get him out of check. And as long as he ends his turn out of check, he's okay. But by the rules of chess, you can't make a move that doesn't get you out of check. So say this knight's still here, right? And the king's in check. The black makes a move like this. It doesn't get this king out of check. Now you'd think if you're white, you'd say, woohoo, I get to capture the king, right? But you don't. That's not how it works. Sorry. The rules of chess say you have to get out of check if you can. So a move that doesn't get you out of check is illegal. It's against the rules. Yeah.
You can only surround the king.
Yeah, you can only surround the king. The idea is to get him where he can't escape. But you never actually take the king off the board. Because he's, you know, the king. Okay, so here we can get out of check like that. We've got a couple more pieces to cover. You guys can go try playing. I know it's a lot to absorb all at once. But once you start doing it on the board, it'll start to make more sense. And Matt will help you with how the pieces move when you're over there playing. So we got a couple more pieces left. And one of them is the king. Okay, you just saw the king getting in check, right? He's a really important piece. But like a lot of kings, right? If you've seen movies where you got a king, he's kind of an old guy. He's got all these gold chains. He moves pretty slow. In chess, the king's the same way. You know, the rook, he can go running around the board. The bishop, the queen, they go running around the board. The king, he just kind of walks real slow. He can go any direction he wants, because hey, he's the king. He can't go very fast. He can only go one square at a time. Why?
Because one day the queen got him an emphasis, and then he got him more and more, and then he can't even go so fast. And he
Yep. He's got all the gold chains. Yes, the queen got him the gold chains. Pretty clever of her. So yeah, the king only goes one square at a time. So he's not very powerful, but he's really important because checkmating him is the nature of the whole game. So you don't want to get the king out really early, okay? The king, you want to keep him protected. You want to keep him safe. Just a couple minutes, okay? So the idea is to keep the king safe. And not move unless you really have to. We got one more piece to move. Who haven't we talked about yet?
The pawn.
The pawn. Raise your hand though, so thank you. We haven't talked about the pawns yet. And the pawns are the least valuable pieces in chess. That's why I got 8 of them.
They're only 1 point.
They're only worth 1 point. And they move pretty strangely. They move straight ahead. Everything else in chess can move forward and backwards. So, you know, if you have this bishop, if you have this bishop here, he can move out here. Then the bishop can move backwards again if he has to retreat, right? Everyone else in chess can retreat. The pawns can't. The pawns, they march forward, and they've got no reverse gear. So you got to think about what you're doing with your pawns. And pawns move a little funny too. Pawns, they're the simplest piece, they're the weakest piece, and they have the most complicated move. Okay, it sounds simple. Originally in chess, pawns can move 1 square at a time. So, and then let me just move this stuff back. Okay, so this is back to starting position, right? So white always moves first. And originally pawns only move 1 square at a time, which is really slow. So you see game start, thump,
But they have like
thump,
they have to get to Disneyland.
yeah, and eventually people decided that was too slow. So they changed the rules of chess a little bit. So now pawns, when they're on their starting square, it's like they've got a trampoline. And they can move 2 squares at once. But only when they're on the square they started from. And this was ruled about 500 years ago. And it works pretty well. I mean, at first, you know, some of the pawns jump on the trampoline a little too hard. They go, whee! Flying pawn. But eventually they got their act together. And so they can move 2. When they're on their starting square, they can move 2. Okay?
But you can only do it once.
We can only do it once per pawn. Because once you've done it, is he on your starting square anymore? No, he's on his starting square. So once he's moved off the starting square, he can only move 1 square at a time. So you can move like here and like here.
Yes, they
Maybe even here. Yeah, what do you think you got?
They can attack diagonal,
Yeah.
and on your first move, like about here, you can do a pawn power.
Step right there.
Right, that's what he's talking about, trampoline. Yeah, when you move 2, we call it pawn power sometimes.
Pawn power.
So yeah. Well, because the pawns, we got squeaky little voices, right? So they'll say pawn power. We say pawn power. My voice doesn't go that high. Sorry.
I can do it.
You can do it. There you go. So, and pawns capture special. Every other piece in chess captures the same way it moves. Hey, pawn. Almost done here. Every other piece in chess captures exactly the same way it moves. Pawns are weird. They move straight forward, but they capture diagonally. That's why I got the two little arms out here on the side to remind you. If they attack like this, you can't attack in the center. You attack off to their diagonals. The pawn karate chops. Yeah, you got it. So this pawn is captured here. That pawn is captured back. But these two pawns can't touch each other. They're just there being all tough. So they're just having a staring contest. Yeah, you got it. You've seen all this before, huh? So you got a staring contest here. These pawns can't touch each other. They can't move. You can't do anything. They're just sitting there staring at each other, trying to act tough. They're blocked. Now, if another pawn moves up here, we can capture that. A pawn can't act anything in front of it. And they never go backwards. And they have one more special power. And then we're done. You get to go play, okay? If you get a pawn to the other end of the board, so this pawn goes here, moves out of the way, goes here, moving out of his way. If he gets here, he can become any piece he wants to be. So you can have two queens. Second queen here somewhere? There's not. Okay. You can have two queens on the board if you get a pawn to the other end of the board. So that's the one point where pawns are really special. Okay, so you had to absorb a lot here. I'm not expecting you to get it all perfectly the first time. Now you're going to go try and play. And you're unsure of the moves. You got Matt over there in the black shirt with a knight on the back. And you got Felix in the white shirt and jeans over there. They'll help you, okay? If you're not sure of a move, if you're not sure what to do, ask them. Yes?
I doubt someone would let you move your pawn to the top of the board.
No, but it can happen later in the game. Yeah, right there. No one's going to let it happen. When you've traded off a lot of pieces, eventually. Because in chess, if you keep trading pieces, you can end up with not much on the board. And so you've got like two kings and one pawn left, then it gets a lot easier to get that pawn to the edge of the board. Yeah, early in the game, no one's going to let you get away with it. Late in the game, sometimes it's important. Yes? CJ. CJ's done at school today. I don't know where he's at. You probably get me, not CJ. Sorry.
That's what I got.
CJ's a lot of fun. I understand why you want to see CJ. He's out here and probably won't be. Okay, so try to remember these moves one more time. How does the rook move? How? Yeah, up and down, and side to side, or left and right. Yeah, up and down, left and right. How does the bishop move?
Diagonal.
Diagonal, but raise your hand. Yeah, diagonal. Try to raise your hand when you answer, okay? How does the queen move? How does the queen move?
Anyway, she moves.
Kind of. I mean, not quite anywhere she wants, but she can move left, she can move right, she can move up, she can move down, she can move diagonal.
And she can move dark to the left.
Yeah, what she can't do is move like a knight. She can't do that. The knight's so special, only he gets that move. With the queen, left, right, up, down, side to side, diagonal. The king. Can you remember how the king moves? How does the king move? Yeah, one step any direction he wants to, but just one step at a time. That's how we covered. The knight. Who remembers how the knight moves? How does the knight move?
Like an L.
Like an L. So it's 1, 2, and over 1.
Squish.
You got the pawn.
1, 2, over 1. 1, 2, over 1. Who haven't we gotten? A pawn. How does a pawn move? Back. How does a pawn move?
Straight.
He moves straight ahead.
Straight.
He moves one square, or maybe two squares if he's using pawn power on his first move. Pawn power. Okay, so thank you for being patient and absorbing all this. Go over there, find a set, find someone to play, and if you're not sure, be sure to ask questions. We're really here to help.
Remember how they move? L shape. Pick it up. Go like that. And turn it. Any way you can. That's how the knight moves. It was an L shape. So it goes like this.
1, 2, over 1.
Yep, like that. So down 1, 2, and over 1. Like an L.
Actually, the real soccer that's
And 1 over.
1, 2.
So like this. It goes like that. So how would this one move?
The knight's the only piece that can pass.
Yeah, good job.
But actually, you should get closer to the center.
That's okay. She can move there. So it's there. Here, come right here. Here, he's gonna set up a board here, and you guys are gonna play, okay? Right here. So it's your turn. Yeah. Remember? Remember the queen can go any direction she wants, but remember the queen can't jump over. Only the knight can. So the queen can only go right there. And once it's here, it can go this way. See? There you go. Remember how these go? What's this one? Almost. Starts with a B. The bishop. How do they go? That's right. They go like that. So I'll go there. Where was he? Almost. He could go. Remember, he can't jump over the pawns.
Why do I have to?
So when you move this one, he can come out. You gotta move these two first. The back. Yeah. You can go this way. So I'm attacking your queen, you want to move her a little bit.
It's okay.
So you want to move. You want to move one of these pawns? I moved right here. It's your turn. It goes with sideways. There you go. Okay, so remember what happens here? They attack sideways. This one right here. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Remember, he can go forward, or he can attack here or here. Yeah, like that. All right, good job. And so this one is gonna take it right back. Now you want to move your knight. He goes in an L shape. Right, either here. What about your queen? You don't want to move there because this one will attack him. So you could all the way across attack that one. Yeah. Attacking. Almost. Let's see, he was right here. So if your knight can go here, or your queen can run away. So which one do you want to do? Yeah? So the queen can attack right there, or there, or there. because it only goes diagonal, to the side, and up and down. Like a laser beam, all the way across.
But then you're dead.
Good job, Haley.
Alright.
She actually can't do the queens right there.
So what do you want to do? What do these ones do? Remember how they move? Remember what they're called? Start to the R. What sounds like? What is this? What does it look like? A castle, right? They're called the rook. Remember how they move? They go up and down, side to side. So they can go all the way up, and back down, and then side to side. So he can go like that, or like that. Set up the black pieces, okay?
What do you do next?
You guys want to do a lesson? Yeah, here. Here, you guys are working on me.
Keep practicing.
If you guys don't really know how to play, you can go.
I know. She just did.